Hello and welcome to Baking on a Budget. Now this time what we're making is absolutely wonderful whole wheat loaf. Very simple to make, absolutely delicious. Got everything we need to make it over here, and I'm going to run through these quantities and tell you exactly how much we've got. To begin with, we have 600 grams of strong whole wheat flour, and that cost me 58 pence. We got 430 ml of lukewarm water, which we cannot really cost. We have one packet of yeast, which was 8 pence. I believe that's a 7-gram packet of yeast. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil at about 7 pence. We got 1 teaspoon of sugar at 2 pence, and we got a pinch of salt again, which we can't really cost. So if we add all that up, this wonderful whole wheat loaf is going to cost us 75 pence. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is get the yeast into this jug. And with that, we want 1 teaspoon of this sugar. And we're just going to mix that together. This is just to bloom the yeast. I know many people say it's not necessary with this sort of dried yeast, but I always like to check. I like to make absolutely sure that the yeast is alive before committing it to the bread. And what we want really is just a froth on the top of this. If this starts to froth on the top after a few minutes, then we'll know that the yeast is good for baking. So I'll just set that aside for a moment or two. Okay, so next we want our flour into the bowl. As I say, this is a whole wheat flour, and this is 600 grams of it. To that, we're going to put a good pinch of salt, and we'll just mix that in. Now, did I mention this is going to be a no-knead sort of recipe, so I'm not going to knead this dough for a long time. Just stretch it out once it's come together, and then let it sit. Very simple. Okay, now let's have a look at our yeast. And as you can see, this has started to froth on the top, so I'm pleased with that. I'm confident that that yeast is alive and will work well in this recipe. So what I'm going to do is just pour all of that into the bowl. It'll be tight on this bowl, mind. And now what we want is a tablespoon of the oil. That goes in there as well. Now we want to mix all this together and bring it together as a dough. It may be quite a sticky dough to begin with this. As the process continues, it will get much smoother and much more handleable. So let's just get all of the dry stuff picked up first. Nothing like homemade bread, you know. Right, I think that's about ready for the hands. Thing we've got going on here. Yes, you can still feel there's quite a bit of moisture in that, so it is quite sticky, but that's what we want. We're just going to bring all that together, get all of the dry ingredients off the side of the bowl. A little bit messy to begin with, but as I say, this will soon come together. Right, now that's looking good. What I'm going to do is just turn it out onto the bench whilst I clean the bowl up. I'll just put a little bit of flour down so it doesn't stick. There we go. Right, I'll just clean this up and then we'll see what we're doing with this. Okay, that's the bowl cleaned up. Now with this, as I say, it's a no-knead method, right? Now, what I'm going to do is just give it a couple of pushes like that, just to combine, make sure all of the wet and dry ingredients are combined properly. That's it there. And that's what it should be looking like. It's fairly stretchy, and it's still fairly damp, but that is what we're after. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of oil in this bowl, just to drizzle. I'll just wet the sides of the bowl with that to stop the dough from sticking too much. Right, dough goes in there. We have a tea towel to put over it, and we want to essentially leave that for about 45 minutes until it has doubled in size. And I'm going to leave that it's fairly warm in the kitchen today, so I'm just going to leave that out on the bench. Okay, and just over 45 minutes later, this is what the dough looks like. That's easily doubled in size, I would say. So what we're going to do is knock the gas out of it at this point. There'll be a lot of gases in there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of flour on my board. I'm going to roll the dough out, and probably a little bit of flour on the hands. It is still a little bit soft, and as I say, we just want to knock the gas out of this, and that's a lot less sticky already, that dough. This really is just a very short sort of a kneading, but it's really just, as I say, to get the built up gases out of the dough. Right, that being that, we now want to put it back into the bowl for another 30 minutes. I find in making bread, it's always best done, I do it on a baking day. You may hear I have the oven in the background there. We have another one of those excellent cheese and potato pies in the oven, and I think I'll also make a carrot cake today as well. But we'll let this dough rise. That wants another 30 minutes, just covered and left somewhere warm. Okay, and another 30 minutes later, the dough has risen again. Now this time what we're going to do is get it out onto the board. Again, just a little bit of flour, like that. So get that out onto the board. Again, knock any gases out of it. And now what we want to do is sort of flatten it out. We want to get it into a sort of a rectangle shape, about the same width as this tin. I'm going to bake it in this tin here. This is a 2-pound loaf tin, and what we want to do is get it about the same width as the tin. And just stretch it out like that. Looking good. Get stretched a little bit more. And I'll just pull it out at the bottom here a touch. All right, now what I'm going to do is roll it up. Like that. And we're going to put it into the tin with the seam side down. There we go. Now, we're going to leave that yet again for another proving. What I'm going to do this time though is put a little bit of flour over the top, because this may very well stick to the towel. So a little bit of flour over the top, and we want to cover it up and leave it until it's sort of risen just to the rim of the tin. We don't want it much higher than that, otherwise it'll flop over when it bakes. So let's just get it straightened out in the tin, like that. A little bit more of the flour. Back with this towel over it. So let's put it back over on the bench and leave it until it has risen above the tin. Okay, and after about another 25 minutes, this is what we've got. It has risen a little bit above the rim of the tin, but I'm sure this will be okay. It may slop over a bit, but that's all right, you know. It'll still be absolutely beautiful. Now, this is going in the oven, and it's going into a fairly hot oven at about 190 degrees. It's going to stay in there for about 25 minutes, something like that. Keep an eye on it, see that it's not burning or anything like that, and then we shall see what we've got at the end of all that. Okay, folks, look at this. This has had just under 30 minutes in the oven. It is looking absolutely beautiful, sounding beautiful, and smelling beautiful. So I'm going to let that cool down a little bit. Look how much it's risen. I'm going to let that cool down a little bit, then we're going to take some slices off, take a look at the texture of it, and most importantly, take a taste of it. Okay, a whole wheat loaf, no kneading involved, absolutely beautiful loaf. I've got a slice off here, and we can see the texture inside of that is absolutely beautiful. This is still warm from the oven, but I can't wait. So what I'm going to do is get a little bit of butter on there. Fresh bread in the kitchen, whole wheat bread, you know, marvellous. Right, got a little bit of butter on there. That is absolutely delicious. Different texture altogether to white bread, different taste. Much more earthy. Beautiful. Now again, I'm just trying it here in the simplest way that I could possibly think of, and that is just with a little spread of butter. A little spread of butter on top. Marvellous. Great for sandwiches or a slice of bread with your meal, something like that. And really simple to make again. Once the ingredients have been put together, it's a matter of just leaving it, knocking the air out, leaving it again. Which does obviously take time, which is why I always include bread making on a baking day, because I know I'm going to be in the kitchen for a few hours, and if we get the bread put together first, then we can just check it as we go through the day making other things. But that, let me tell you, is absolutely delicious. So there it is, that's how I make a wholemeal loaf. And I had the wholemeal flour in the kitchen after making the biscuits, the digestives and the hobnobs, which there's links to in the description below the video. So can I say, if you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more videos like this in the future, making very simple food, very inexpensive. As I say, this whole loaf, it was 74 pence, and it's a sizable loaf, very reasonable. So if you would like to see more videos of this nature, making very simple and delicious food, always very low cost, always simple to make, always absolutely delicious, then please do consider subscribing to the channel. In the meantime, I'm going to finish off the rest of this slice of this beautiful whole wheat loaf, and I thank you very much for watching. Do give this a go. Beautiful.